Hello and welcome to another Punters Guide with a cracking weekend of racing ahead in the northwest and in the southeast with Sandown and Aintree at the forefront of everyone's minds. As always, Frankie and Joel alongside me as well. And we'll start with Frankie. Small fields at Sandown, big fields at Aintree. I could say that everyone's catered for.
Yeah, well, it's not miles off when we had down south Ascot with small fields and up north Haydock was dominating with the good racing. Not quite the same story as Ascot, thankfully, but yeah, smaller fields at Sandown. But God, there's some quality. I mean, you're looking at the Tingle Creek and Shishkin, Grenity, and Edwardstone. It's not lacking quality this weekend, that's for sure.
It's that north-south divide, Joel, isn't it? Us northerners, we're keeping the show on the road for Punters.
Hey, bye, lad. There's me, thee, and Brian Hughes sorting this out. You see, we got champion jockey up here. I tell you what, riding at Aintree weekend, he's going to get a nosebleed. I tell you. No, it's brilliant this weekend. It's great. We've got the magic wand out. We're all ready to play. Quality, quantity, and some absolute tripe as well around the country. But the best stuff is on ITV this weekend.
Talking tripe, we'll get your nap at the end, Joel. We'll start with Frankie in the Tingle Creek. The Willie Welty saga looks to have taken a recent twist that looks like it will be, they will, with Shishkin Edwardstone. Connections suggesting they are happy to take their chances, which basically now makes it a proper Grade 1, Frankie.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. And I know that people might say that's optimistic after non-runners throughout the various big races over the last couple of weeks. But I'm hopeful that Shishkin, Grenity, and Edwardstone will all turn up and race here. They're running out of races to go in. A couple have been pulled out already. Paul Nicholls isn't one to shy away from a race like this, and he'll want to come back after winning it last year. And Shishkin, from all things that Henderson has said, is fighting fit and ready to go. So it looks like a proper race. One I'm really looking forward to. And if Shishkin turns up, for me, he is the one to beat. We've seen over the last couple of weeks these top graded horses, the ones that are rated the highest, the ones that have done the best race to the highest level have come out and won. It's just a matter of if he's on song. And as I said, the comments that have come out of him when he was doing a bit of work upside champ on the gallops at Newbury, they seemed happy enough with him. And I really do think Shishkin's the one to beat. I mean, you look back through, he's beaten an Ergamine champion chase winner. He beat Grenetin easily at Kempton. The same story for Fernand Savola, Eldorado, all of these horses in behind him. When he's on his game, he is different class. And I know all the ones in behind him will be better than what we saw last year, as will Grenetin. But yeah, Shishkin for me is definitely the one to beat.
Shishkin for Frankie. Joel, obviously, Paul Nicholls will want to win it. And Ram Gordon Elliott's words down his throat about not taking each other on. But look, he's won this race 12 times before, and Grenetin's won it before as well. So he knows exactly where he's aiming.
Gordon, that's Rolex. I think it was something along those lines, wasn't it? Look, as Frankie says, if they all turn up, I'll run around Aintree naked. I don't think they're all going to turn up, but otherwise, I'm doing Haydock and Aintree now, aren't I?
Yeah. Just the images of you naked over the chair.
Edwardstone, one of my favourite horses from last year, was with it from day one. Got to improve a stone for this, so line through that. As Frankie says, Shishkin beat Grenetin 10 lengths at Kempton. The only positive I can give Grenetin here is the track form. Three grade ones at Sandown. If you want 20-1 for Grenetin for champion chase, go for it. But I think Shishkin is if he turns up on the day and we see the Shishkin evolved, I think it'll be a looks between his legs like what he sees. And I like to see that. So Shishkin for me and Frankie.
Don't want to see Nico's. We don't want to see yours around Aintree. Right. Is it a Grade 1 double for Nicky Henderson then, Joel? Let's talk about the Henry VIII Novices chase. John Bon, or can you make a case for Boot Hill?
I've written down in this one. Now, I watched a preview online earlier on, and there was three lads in a bedroom speaking for 45 minutes about this race, and they all decided it was John Bon. I've written 145, Sandown, John Bon wins, shortens for Arkle.
Simple.
I mean, look, we can sit here and we can analyse this race. John Bon wins, will shorten for the Arkle. Next.
Frankie, do you concur?
I do. That race at Warwick, to have Montmorel and West Cork behind him like he did so easily. I mean, that was a big statement, and yeah, it's a crazy short price for the Arkle, but there's nothing we've seen so far to make that change. So yeah, should go and win. And
220 might 220 might take a little bit longer to talk about. Then it's a 2-mile handicap hurdle. But can you turn me off this? Love Envoy, a Grade 1 win, a Grade 2 winner, a Grade 1 runner-up, and she's in here off a mark of 139 for Harry Fry. Do you look a gift horse in the mouth, Frankie?
Yeah, I mean, I did the same. Looked at the Tingle Creek, Shishkin, short enough, but top class. John Bon, obviously odds on, top class. And you come to these big handicaps, you think, right, here we go. Let's find a bit of value. Le Fenoir sets the standard. And as I went down, I really cannot get a beat. I mean, even to back that, I know she was beaten 8 lengths. Joel shaking his head. I know she was beaten 8 lengths by Brandy Love next time out. But Dinah Blue, Horse Piss, Gronji, all behind. These are graded horses. She's a graded horse. I can't understand. It seems like a gift. 139 against horses in behind that really are not up to that caliber. Graded standard, Cheltenham Festival standard. She should go and win this. I can't see how she doesn't, especially if the ground's so soft at the moment. It'd probably be good to soft on the day.
Yeah, I agree. I like Love Envoy. You wouldn't mind being beaten by Brandy Love, though, would you, Joel?
Oh, I tell you what, I wouldn't. I love a Brandy Love. I'm so.
There wouldn't be 8 lengths there.
I tell you what, there wouldn't be. Not nowadays. I'm retired. I'm so against Love Envoy this weekend. All right.
Oh.
Grade 1 here in a handicap of 139 will only win on heavy ground. And you were going, it's going to be good to soft.
Yeah.
Not a hope for me. I really fancied No Ordinary Joe, which came out. So that ain't running. Now, bear with me on this one. I got you some value. A little while ago, I did Horses to Follow with Matt. And I came up with In the Air, right? It's not been a great one for the Moors. Now, won first time out last year, Ortoy, before it went to Gary Moore. It won by 4.5 lengths at Newbury on debut for Gary and the team in March. And then it sort of falls off a cliff here. It was beaten 97 lengths at Aintree in that grade 1 juvenile hurdle. But it's been beat by Night Salute, Pied Piper and Brazil. Then it came out at Fontwell. Everything's going well. It fell there at the 3rd in October. Now, this is the one for me. If you look at the video last time out, it was 5th at Ascot 2 weeks ago. Now, Jamie Moore is an all-out jockey. He is like, the only thing we've got left compared to AP McCoy as far as strong jockey goes. Now, he was really tender on this. And I don't mind because it's a confidence builder, but never breathed on the horse. Been dropped £3 for that. And if you're taking Love Envoy is going to go what? Even money on the day, 11 to 10, something like that. 33 to 1, 40 to 1 in places for an each way bet for me in the air. Good fun bet. And I'm trying to get my money back, but I hope I've made a case.
Very good case. No, it's an excellent case. Love it. A big price.
Definite
case.
Yeah, if we're trying to be a bit more interesting, Martha Tours one to watch in the market. Venetia's French recruit.
Yeah, very much so.
And I think you don't know a whole lot about it, but.
And the ground's an important point because on the hurdles course, they water throughout the summer for the flats. So it is always softer on the hurdles course than it is the chase track. So, excellent case made. Right. We don't care what ones are 330. It's the winners wear Cavani menswear. I've got an ambassador here. We want to know the latest range. Joel's got his money out. He wants to buy the latest fashion.
I better suit up.
Not I know.
I am there though, so I better dig out my Cavani suit.
Right, do you get free Cavani suits?
I mean, we have a good agreement. Me and Cavani, they look after me.
Okay,
keep me well dressed.
Can you get a medium and
what size are you?
get us a medium and get us maybe an extra large for a friend. All right.
Yeah.
Well, based off of your Black Friday shopping you just showed us, we're safe, Joe.
It's not Edison Cavani, by the way. Right, let's look at London National there. D. Sarber's got a good record in this for Philip Hobbs, but again, it's another short one, very fine. Revels Hill, for me, is a Welsh National winner. I think he's going to have a massive race in the Welsh National. He just gallops all day for me. The further, the better, but he's on the skinny side this weekend. Joel.
If you want to go for me, I completely agree with what you said there. I love the favourite so much, and of course you're looking to take them on. And I came with D Saber. Loves the track, 2 wins, 2 seconds. Last year beating a nose in this. Hobbs said earlier on this week that this horse would only be targeted at races at Sandown. Gentleman to me, Mullins can't be asked to book an Irish-based jockey, so that's the line through that. I think he'll make it. I think it's been the top 2 in the market, which is really boring. But I've given you 33 to 1 shot beforehand. I think I don't mind going for D Saber in this one.
There you are, D Saber in the London National. Frankie, the pressure's on here.
Joel, I agree. Exactly the same. Top 2. Revels Hill won the last twice at around 3 miles, and then 2 mile 5 at Ascot. Your Darling was a really impressive winner, but I mean, Revels Hill stayed on nicely into second, and a bit further should improve. And then Desalva, as we said, second in this last year. And also a second to Lamilos, the Coral Gold Cup winner recently, who was off a nice low weight that day as well. So pretty well handicapped, and took that similar route with that hurdle race to set up for this. And in that hurdle race, you got Remastered, Ashtown, Lad, Jericho Rock, all horses that are coming into or have been into a nice handicap chase, protecting that chasing mark. So similar story. Top 2 in the market. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Revels Hill. That Ascot run I thought was impressive.
Yeah, it's a Frankie favourite Yankee at Sandown this afternoon. Let's see what happens at Aintree then. We'll start with you at the Many Clouds Chase at 1:30, and I've got to be against the Hoy Senor. I cannot have him at the prices. Is this this is a favourite you're with, Frankie, or are we going to finally take one on?
I think I'd take him on.
Yes.
Just too short. Like 5 to 4 is short, but I've got to say it's the market that's put me off. That price for me is too short with Chantry House, Noble Yates, Sam Brown in there. I think it's massively overpriced. The only one thing I would say in a Hoy Senor's defence before I say I'm not going to back him is he ran too bad to be true at Wetherby. But you've only got to go back to Aintree last year when Brave Man's Game did the same, and Hoy Senor won that race. And it was exactly the same story. Brave Man's Game is brilliant all year, and then was shocking at Aintree, and he's come out and looked a superstar this year. Horses do have their off days. A Plus Tard pulled up last week, could still go and win the Gold Cup. So although a Hoy Senor, could bounce back, it's just too short for me in what's a competitive race. I don't know why a Hoy Senor is 5 to 4, and then you're looking at 5 to 1 the rest of the field. For me, Sam Brown is probably who I'd take him on with. Always runs a real kind of true race, will always try his heart out. So at an each way price, I know it's a small field, but even to run on into second at 9s, well, I'd much rather have that than a Hoy Senor at 5 to 4 to go and win. And he was close enough with Brave Man's Game. I think if he jumped the second last a little bit better at Wetherby, he would have been closer. And he's a horse that's always improving. And as I said, just always runs a real true race, and will give you a run for your money, no doubt, at near a double figure price.
I'm going to lay my cards on the table before we get to Joe. Hoy Senor, I didn't think showed hardly anything at Wetherby. The off days jumping was actually, I know he's got a good entry record, but I can't get that Wetherby run out of my head. I'm a big fan of Sounds Russian. This is a really progressive 7-year-old who won nicely at Kelso and has gone through the grades, and I think he's got a huge chance, totally underestimated. So massively against the Hoy Senor. And I saw you nodding your head as well, Joel.
Yeah. I've got Nap this weekend. Sam Brown for me. Not just because of the price play. That finished last season beating Chamblou by 15 lengths at Aintree, third in the Charlie Hall Chase, beating Brave Man's Game. Look at the form. Eldorado Allen, second in the Betfair Chase, were there last weekend. Paint the Dream, fourth, bolted up at Newbury. I genuinely think the bookies have got it wrong. When we say it's too bad to be true, I do get that, and you give horses second, third, fourth, fifth chances. I do. That's what I do. You follow off a cliff, but it's a horse I don't like. A Hoy Senor at 5 to 4. There's more chance of Lukaku hitting 1 in 20. Let's be honest.
Tommy Scoot did say on a preview. He said that Hoy Senor was absolutely fine, and they were almost. Well, you're not hoping there's anything wrong with the horse, but they were surprised when all the vet checks and everything came back sound after that race, and there was no excuse. He just didn't perform.
Didn't fire. Yeah, right. We'll move on to the Beecher Chase then, and we'll start with you, Joel. 23 runners. This is going to be some spectacle, actually. Do you want a couple in here, a couple of darts with such a big runner field?
Well, I'm right in thinking Ashtown Lad needs to win this to get in the national. I made that note earlier on this
Probably.
week.
Borderline.
Yeah, borderline. Snow Leopardess, too much weight. The Wolf keeps on coming second at a decent price, but needs a jockey. This is one for you. Recite a Prayer for Mullins. If it runs, it's still in the market as we speak, recording on Thursday evening. Strongly fancied in the Cork Grand National, was beaten by the other one, Mullins, Captain Kangaroo, was hampered 5 out. Before that, in the Kerry National, was 2 lengths behind Busselton, who finished 4th or 5th at the weekend for Joseph O'Brien. If it takes to the Aintree fences, I think we've got a great shout here, and around 20 to 1 as well. At the time recording. Recite a prayer for me, and maybe a couple of quid on the Wolf to finish second.
Frankie?
Couple of darts. The top of the market, Ashtown Lad. The Scoutons are firing, aren't they, at the moment? And especially they've landed a few big handicaps. I know we've just slated a Hoysignor, but third to a Hoysignor in a Grade 2, 5th in the Welsh Grand National, and down £2 for that. I couldn't really get my head round. And then, last time running that same handicap that I've mentioned, a few have come out into a chasing race and perform well. Off a 138, Ashtown Lad, I think, has got to have a great chance. At the opposite end of the market, Daman Delisle might give you a bit of a run for your money.
Who?
Something French. Over a stone down. I think a stone and £5 down for 4th in this last year. Real patchy form. But if he can run to anything like last year's form in this race, I think he came 4th at 66 to 1 last year, and he goes off 40 to 1. And you never know, they might have targeted this again. 132 is extremely low for that horse. And then one I really hoped, I think it's been done by the handicapper a bit, the Jam Man. Been around for a while, runs weirdly and staying flat.
Been done by lots.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's wishing and hoping here. God.
I mean, running the race that Boston won, run a Galway plate, and then what's that race called at the start? The Kerry National. Not to great form, and hence why I was hoping his mark was down a little bit. But with a £5 claimer on the Jam Man, you never know.
Well, he wins he wins when the trainer wants him to win.
I was just about to say the same, but it's like the Jam Man's having an affair with the handicapper's wife or something, because it's relentless. But you didn't play me 50 for the Jam Man, but good luck.
Right, it's a really another good handicap chase at 240 as well on the Mildmay course, and it's over 2.5 mile. Riders on the Storm, your old Rowan winner, back in handicap is your favourite. Gunsight Ridge won here last time out. Freddie Murphy goes. Well, Clan Legends, of course, regular for Nick Alexander. Again, 13 runners, and it's a good race to get stuck into. I'll start with you, Frankie, this time.
Yeah, Gunsight Ridge. I like the Aintree form. Gone chasing around here 3 times. First one of them, third another, and pulled up the other. Performed to a decent level, I thought, last time out. Sean Bowen's booked again. A jockey that seems to be riding with a bit of confidence, I think, this year. And off a 137 in a race that's not, a huge step up for him, this Class 2 handicap chase, I think it's got to go close. He hasn't gone chasing over 2 miles yet, but he performed to decent standard hurdling over 2.5. And maybe they've just been getting his jump in right round, just shy of 2 miles and 2 miles. And now he's got the confidence over fences to step up to 2.5. He does, you hold your breath a bit when he jumps these fences around Aintree. He goes through the top of them a bit, but you can get away with that. And he has got away with it and won last time out. So, having won and placed here, you've got to keep that confidence. But you will probably end up, if you back him, holding your breath a few times, because he does just go through the top. But he travels really, really nicely. As I said, he's performed well over hurdles around 2.5, and that win last time out was pretty impressive. So, yeah, Gunsight Ridge for me.
Joel?
How the hell is Riders on the Storm favourite? It was 9 to 4. It's drifted to 11 to 4. I mean, that was the flukiest of fluky of all time, wasn't it? With a hitman that just want to go past. I mean,
the form doesn't look bad. Hitman's come out and won since his second favourite of the King George. Garlow's come out and won the Paddy Power. What was fourth? I think it was fourth. There was something else that was fourth as well. Was it Beakstown?
Yeah.
Beakstown.
All right, lay of the weekend.
That was fourth.
All right, okay.
Do your job. One.
Yes.
Well, the race before, actually.
There's a couple in here for me. Wishing and Hoping. I remember putting it up as a best bet of the weekend at 33 to 1 at Warwick, and it just got done about 100 yards from the line. I remember that texting you, Matt, going, look, we're nearly in there. Always runs a good race for you. Probably go from the front. Elvis Mail for me. Bruce Lynn claiming the 3 now. It's down to 3. Won at end of last month, I think it was, over 2-4. Generally a brilliant jumper. It's got a turn of foot as well. I think it's 8. He's still got a turn of foot. But saying that, I did smash the last one at there. I just thought around 12, 14 to 1, something like that. Maybe a good little bit of value. I just could not have a ride on the Storm for me any day of the week. I think it is the the falsest of false favourites this year.
Right, let's get into the lucky last then, the 3:15. And, well, I know lots of punters will be latching on once again to Langedan, Joel.
Well, there's two ways: handbrake on, handbrake off. Just don't know. It's a race that you probably leave alone if Walking on Air goes. And we've been waiting for this horse to run for a while. As Frankie always says, it's the buzz horse. It's the one. It's arguably probably going to be the best horse in the race. If we go Walking on Air for me, I'll leave Langedan alone. Can win 16 lengths. I'll be tailed off 16 lengths hard held. But for me, Walking on Air, totally up to you.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one, haven't we? And not been seen since pulled up in the Ballymore. Frankie, what gets punters out of a hole at Aintree on Saturday?
Oof. Walking on Air, it's got to be better than 132, as Joel said, the high horse. And the way I sum this up, you're looking at Walking on Air and you're just looking down the rest of the field, and what we've got a couple rated in the high 130s. You've got Langedan, as we said, is a bit of an iffy one. And really, I think, as we mentioned previously, kind of had his day in the sun at Aintree. And now the handicapper might even have hold of Langedan. There's nothing that, if Walking on Air is as good as he's talked about being, that should beat him. If he doesn't live up to the hype, the one I'd be looking at would be Herbier's. So you could play the both. I mean, an each way bet on Herbier's around 10s wouldn't be the worst shout. Second in the class, 2 off top weight. Was 9th in the Mountain Pipe, but 9th and not miles back off a 134. Comes here off a 138. It's only £4 up for that. He's been in the mixer a few times. And at a double figure price, if you can get it, that would be my one each way. But Walking on Air, Hendo's firing. His hype horses are living up to their hype. And if, John Bond goes in, Shishkin goes in, by the end of the day, I think Walking on Air will be pretty short. So I probably would follow the money and follow the hype.
Yeah, you're right. Could be the last leg of all those Henderson multis. No doubt. Right, let's get the best bets time and wrap up then. Joel, we'll start with you first. Best bet of the weekend, please.
Sam Brown, 130 Aintree. If you can get a double figure price. Sam Brown, 130 Aintree. Just for me, I think the bookies have got this all wrong. A horse Senor will not win. And I think Sam Brown is cracking value.
Frankie, best bet, please.
Am I really letting Joel put me off Love Envoi? I think I am. The only there's two things that swayed me: Joel slating it, and the fact that Winners Wear Cavani is the 330.
Oh, here we go.
So I'm going to pick the winner of that race. Rebels Hill, brilliant at Ascot, over 2 mile 5, and now going 3 miles was staying all day. And I think Rebels Hill's a strong favourite in that big handicap chase.
Don't forget, Joel slating a horse could be seen as a positive.
Look, I did say Protectorat would never. All right. Look, there's mitigating circumstances, but Protectorat, what are you doing? Went off what, 15-2, something like that? Oh my god!
Brilliant. Brilliant. Hey, look, hopefully we've put up a few winners. It's a cracking weekend's race. I'm looking forward to it. Big betting races at Aintree. Some cracking grade ones at Sandown as well to look forward to. We'll be back next weekend to look at the international meeting at Cheltenham. Thanks to Frankie and Joel for joining us. We'll be back in this weekend. Best of luck.